Hi everybody, quick reminder, don't forget to check out the on-screen end cards towards the end of the video, as well as the merch shelf and links down in the description below to explore my new Outcast comic book series. And I just have to say that I genuinely appreciate all of the support that's been shown for this new adventure. Now let's dive into the wealthiest characters of Marvel. You see, in the Marvel universe, power is often measured by cosmic strength or mutant abilities. But for some, their greatest superpower is their bottom line. We're not just talking about billionaires like Tony Stark. We're looking at the kings and so-called gods who own entire nations, planets, and realms. Today, we're counting down the top 10 wealthiest characters that are verifiable in Marvel Comics, with them being ranked from the quote-unquote poorest billionaire to the trillion-dollar titans. Now let's dive in. Coming in at number 10, we have Emma Frost, whose estimated net worth is approximately $11 billion. Starting our list is the White Queen herself. While she began with a massive inheritance from the Frost family, Emma used her telepathic abilities and ruthless business mind to build Frost International into a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate. Her wealth isn't just in cash. She owns vast real estate and luxury assets, and as a key leader of the Hellfire Club and later Krakoa, she has consistently used her fortune to fund mutant interest across the globe. Next up, at number 9, we have Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, with his estimated net worth being around $12 billion. You see, Reed isn't just the smartest man on Earth, he's one of the most bankable. The Fantastic Four's wealth comes primarily from the thousands of patents Reed has filed for his various inventions. From unstable molecules to interdimensional transport, his intellectual property is worth a fortune. While Reed often prioritizes science over profit, the Fantastic Four Inc. revenue comfortably funds the Baxter Building's high-tech operations and their cosmic expeditions, which can probably get quite expensive. Now at number 8, we have Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin, whose estimated net worth is around $40 billion. It goes without saying that you can't talk about money in Marvel without the kingpin of crime. Wilson Fisk's wealth is a complex web of legitimate real estate, technology firms, and biomed companies, all serving as a front for his massive criminal empire. Fisk's influence over New York's infrastructure and his ability to manipulate markets through the shadow economy puts his liquid and hidden assets far above your average CEO. So next, we have number 7, Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, who has an estimated net worth of around $100 billion. Being the most famous billionaire in comics, Tony's wealth is built on the back of Stark Industries. Though he famously moved the company away from weapons manufacturing, his pivots into clean energy, aerospace, and consumer tech have kept him at the top of the Forbes list. Tony's net worth fluctuates based on his latest Iron Man armor development, but his mastery of the tech market ensures he remains the gold standard for human wealth. Now at number 6, we have Roberto da Costa, aka Sunspot, whose estimated net worth is around $125 billion. A surprise to many, the mutant Sunspot is actually wealthier than Tony Stark. Roberto inherited the Da Costa international fortune from his father, but his real power move was buying out the villainous scientific organization known as AIM, or Advanced Idea Mechanics. By rebranding it as Avengers Idea Mechanics, he effectively purchased a private army of the world's most brilliant scientists and their countless world-changing patents. Now at number 5, we really get into the big dogs, because we have Victor Von Doom, aka Dr. Doom, whose estimated net worth is north of $1 trillion. Crossing into the realm of sovereign wealth is where we find Dr. Doom. As the absolute monarch of Latveria, Doom owns everything within his borders. His wealth is a combination of his country's GDP and his own scientific genius. Doom actually holds patents that rival Reed Richards, but because he's a head of state, his assets are tied to the very survival and military might of his nation, making his true value nearly immeasurable. But of course, he's not the only ruler on this list, because at number 4, we have T'Challa, aka Black Panther, whose estimated net worth is $91 trillion. Much of the wealth of Wakanda is centered on a single substance, vibranium. and the tech that stems from this rare metal. In the comics, vibranium is valued at $10,000 per gram. And with Wakanda's vaults containing an estimated 10,000 tons of the rare metal at least, the math leads to a staggering $90.7 trillion. And as the king, T'Challa controls this resource entirely. And as I just mentioned, this doesn't even account for all of Wakanda's hidden and known advanced medical, military, and energy tech, which is decades ahead of the rest of the world. The rest of this list is obviously going to have rulers, so you have to expect that number 3 could possibly be Black Bolt, or Blackagar Boltagon, whose estimated net worth is north of $100 trillion. As the king of the Inhumans, Black Bolt rules over a society that has mastered Terrigenesis and highly advanced Kree-based technology. Their former capital, Atalan, was located on the moon, meaning that Black Bolt effectively claimed the moon's entire resource pool. So, between the value of Terrigen crystals, the source of their powers, and their lunar territory, the Inhuman royal family possesses wealth that dwarfs almost any terrestrial nation. However, let's not get ahead of ourselves, because back on Earth, we have at number 2, Namor the Submariner, who has an estimated net worth of $260 trillion, which is truly insane. You see, Namor rules over 70% of Earth's surface, because as the king of Atlantis, he claims ownership of all the ocean's resources, including vast deposits of rare minerals, oil, and the sunken treasures of thousands of years of human history, which themselves could be potentially priceless. When you factor in the value of the untapped raw materials on the ocean floor and Atlantean technology, Namor is easily one of the wealthiest beings to ever walk, or swim, or fly above the Earth. So I guess it's fitting that at number 1, we leave the Earth, although he does make very frequent appearances. Because at number 1, we have Thor Odinson, who has an estimated net worth that is truly immeasurable within the Asgardian treasury. At the top of this list is the so-called God of Thunder. As the king of Asgard and the Allfather, Thor doesn't just own a country, he owns an entire realm. The Asgardian treasury itself is filled with mystical artifacts, piles of gold, and Uru, a metal so rare and powerful that it cannot be priced by human standards. If you were to value the cosmic resources of the 9 realms and the treasures of the gods, Thor stands as the wealthiest character in the Marvel Universe, period. So, from corporate giants to cosmic kings, wealth in Marvel is as diverse as the powers the characters wield. The only question is, which of these billionaires or trillionaires would you want to fund your superhero or supervillain team? That itself would make for interesting discussion. Anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you next time. Be sure to like, hype, and subscribe to The New Sage.